Thank you for staying tuned. Uganda sees investors lined up for 5 oil blocks by the end of next year and expects to start producing crude as early as 2023. The landlocked East African nation plans to build a pipeline to export its oil through neighboring Tanzania. Energy Minister Irena Muloni is holding a roadshow in Dubai to promote the licenses Uganda is offering. Uganda has also held roadshows in London and Houston, and Maloney said she's heading next to Russia to try to promote interest there. Uganda has 6 billion barrels of oil reserves, of which 1.4 billion barrels is recoverable. And daughter of former Angolan President Jose Eduardo dos Santos, Isabel dos Santos, and Africa's richest woman, has denied any wrongdoing when she was chairwoman of state-owned oil company Sonangol and called a probe into the transfer of millions of dollars from the Luanda-based firm Political Vengeance. This is coming on the back of a criminal investigation into the transfer of $38 million from Sonangol, which was unauthorized by dos Santos. Her successor at Sonangol, Carlos Saturnino, accused dos Santos last year of authorizing the transfer to a company in Dubai days after she was dismissed as chairwoman. Ms. dos Santos says the money transfer was legal and was made while she was still in her position at Sonangol on November the 15th, 2017, as payment instructions were given days before her dismissal. And Deloitte has become the latest international company dragged into South Africa's government-linked corruption scandals. State-owned power utility Eskom said on Monday that it wants the accountancy and advisory firm to return 208 million rand that it alleges were overpriced contracts. The contracts were awarded during the tenure of former chief financial officer and ex-senior executive Presh Gender. Both have been tied to corruption probes at the utility. However, they deny wrongdoing. Deloitte has disputed the allegation, saying it's been in talks with Eskom for some time over the matter and had explained the processes that were followed. On commodities market update today, we are looking at avocado. In recent times, there has been a near euphoria about fitness, wellness, and healthcare in Nigeria. Now, this is forcing a change in consumer behavioral patterns. For example, avocado, which was not in vogue before, is now witnessing huge demand. But are there prospects for commercial production here in Nigeria? Let's talk to one of the research analysts with financial derivatives company, Desola Simoni. Hello, Desola. Good afternoon. Good to see you.
Hi, Chimeze. Good afternoon. Thank you for having me on the show.
All right. Now, viewing from the outside, where you are, how do you explain this surge in avocado demand here in Nigeria, and what are the prospects for commercial and large-scale production of this fruit in Nigeria?
Thank you for that question, Chimeze. I mean, the reason for the surge in demand for avocado is changes in consumers' tastes and preferences, and this is not peculiar to Nigeria. It is actually a global phenomenon. In the United States, for instance, the data from the United States Department of Agriculture shows that per capita avocado consumption in the United States in 2006 was 3.5 pounds per person, and by that had doubled to about 7.1 pounds per person in 2016. So we are seeing shifts in consumers' taste from unhealthy foods, a lot of sugary foods to more healthy options. And for Nigeria, I think there's huge potential to become to commercialize the commodity and to export it. I mean, some industry experts have said that we need a national avocado policy, but I think what is missing there is incentives by the government and for the private sector. And that's I'll stop there.
Okay, Desola. Well, the bulk of avocado consumed in Nigeria comes from Benin Republic. Now, we know we have this border closure here. How has that affected the supply and price of avocado? Is this likely going to lead to a higher domestic output?
the border closure is already biting. We're already seeing the effects in neighboring countries and in Nigeria as well. I mean, and this effect, can be seen in inflation for September. For instance, inflation increased by to 11.24% from 11.02%. But usually, what I think it will happen is, I think that the border closure will constrain the supply of avocado in Nigeria during off season, and this will push up prices. But I do not think that that is sufficient to increase the production of avocado in Nigeria, because it takes at least 3 years for the avocado seeds to begin to yield fruit. And I think by then, or the border closure induced price premium in avocado would have disappeared. What I think is we need stronger incentives for avocado production to increase, and there are many lessons that Nigeria can learn from Kenya, which is also an African country and is the largest exporter of avocado in Africa, and is making huge returns in the European markets.
All right, thank you. Thank you for your time, Desola Simoni. Desola Simoni is one of the research analysts with Financial Derivatives Company. Okay, let's cross over now to the Nigerian Stock Exchange for an update from my colleague there, Temple Ashaju. Hello, Temple. Well, it's earnings season at the NSE, and quite a number of listed companies have released their financials. What is the implication of these 9-month results on the market?
Well, we're seeing so much of high interest across some of those companies that have released their numbers. UBA is a clear example of this. Right now, it's up by some 2.63% in terms of the share price. That is because, of course, if you look at the metrics for the numbers, for the earnings, 9-month earnings, they all look positive. It's positive top line by 14%. Earnings per share is also very positive by more than 34% or thereabouts. The bottom line is also very impressive. So we've seen more than 12 million units of shares, traded so far as things are going. The trade keeps going on today. 319 deals is the total. If you look at First Bank as well, in spite of the fact that the top line is not too good, we know the bottom line is okay. And of course, a lot of investors have found succor in the fact that the return on average equity is very positive by more than 8%. So they're really bullish on it. We know that First Bank or FBNH has actually lost some 5 kobo in share price now, but we know that there's still more deals on this particular security, Chimeze.
All right, where is the index at the moment?
Well, it's negative. There are a bit of mild losses, so to say. That is because we still have some investors that are taking profit, counting the cost of what they've invested in the market for the past 1-2 weeks. So the little gains that they could make, they are selling down to actually edge out of the market. But we know that some of the investors that are really investing in the market now are investing towards the December period, when they envisage a rally, to hit the market. So that's the kind of sentiment we're seeing in the market. If you check yesterday, the day before, the session before yesterday, and of course today, the mild losses is what we've been recording. So it tells you that there's a bit of buy sentiment as well, in spite of the reports that came from the NSE that what we saw in the month of September was just about around 100 million, naira worth of transaction from retail investors.
Continue to keep our fingers crossed. And that's a wrap on the program. Thank you for watching. I'm Chimeze Obi Iwawu.